So today's video is for those who feel stuck. And this topic here, I can relate to so much, it's crazy. Because I know how it feels, the pressures of trying to make it when you're young, the feeling of trying to figure it out, the whole lot. I know, I promise you, I know. I've been dealing with this for the past 5 to 6 years. And it's not easy. However, I'm going to share some tips today that help me get through it and get me where I am today. Those who don't know me, my name is Mawad, I'm 23. I'm a quantitative surveyor and a civil engineer, and I also run my online fitness business called the March Akey Foundation. Before we get into the tips, I want to ask you a question. Why do you feel stuck? What is it? A lot of you will think that the feeling of being stuck is just kind of like, I need an escape from my reality. That is the reality of it. You want to escape your reality. That's why you feel stuck. You're always looking around, seeing where the next big thing is, and it's just like you're not focusing on watering your grass. This comes from a place of urgency. You're seeing these mad things online, you're seeing all these luxurious lifestyles, and you're thinking like, why am I not living like this? My life sucks. And the thing is, like, this is where the online space is a bit toxic because it can ruin people's lives. And that sense of pressure comes from a place of abnormality. Not everyone's life is like that. You need to understand that what you see on the internet is not the norm. That's the reality of it. Like, only 0.001% of the population live that lifestyle. And all of a sudden you're seeing this mad surge of millionaires that are in their late teens, early 20s, and it's like, well, what am I doing wrong? However, you don't see the real thing. That's not to say that all of them are fake and not legit. However, it's easy to misunderstand what you're seeing online. So you need to factor that in. You can't live by seeing other people's lives and thinking, you know what, my life sucks. And the reality is, a lot of people will be grateful if they were in your position. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, oh, you know what, like, I've not really felt like that in any way, or I've not looked at other people's lives and be like, oh, you know what, I wish I had that life. No, I'll be lying to you. However, you can't fathom the idea that every single person you're seeing online is actually living that life, because a lot of it is just social media noise. And people will do what they need to do to keep the attention of other people on them, because the concept of fake it till you make it is a real thing. So that urgency of feeling stuck, it comes from within. You've got to understand that you've got to build up your life. You can't just go from 0 to 100 out of nowhere. This is the problem with the internet nowadays. Everyone thinks that they can make it from 0 to 100 within 3 to 6 months. And a lot of you guys just don't have the skill sets to warrant that. And that's the reality. So how do you adjust that? The best advice someone has ever told me was, identify your goal and work backwards. That's what it was. And for a while, I didn't understand what it meant until recently, where I've been basically reverse engineering the process. What does that mean? So the concept of identify your goal and work backwards means, look at your goal. However, don't chase the goal. Chase the processes that get you to that goal. And that's the thing. A lot of people want to be rich. However, chase being rich. They don't chase the processes that allow them to get there. So, for example, if you want to make $1 million within 5 years, right? You shouldn't be focused on that $1 million, because the reality is you don't have the tools to acquire that $1 million. So what do? You create processes that increase your likelihood of achieving that. So, for example, creating skill sets, creating systems, making a network that allows you to facilitate these things and put them together to make something that is worthy of acquiring $1 million. That is the psychology behind it. Everybody's focused on chasing the goal. Nobody's focused on chasing the processes that get you to that goal. And that's where the game changer is. The thing is, like, my mentor said that to me, and he didn't tell me the explanation. It was something that I kind of just had to figure out myself. And at the time, I was in this dilemma and this constant battle, a loop where it's like, well, this is where I want to be. However, I don't know how to get there, or I think that I know how to get there, but in reality, I'm doing the wrong thing to get there. So how does it work? How do you know what to do, when to do it? And the reality is, nobody knows. Nobody actually knows. It's all trial and error. You need to create the processes, see if they work. If they don't, how can I change them? How can I improve them? The problem is nowadays is people compare themselves with people that are levels ahead. You can't compete with that. You can't relate to that. So I don't get the idea of you looking at somebody trying to replicate what they're doing at that very moment at level 100, but you disregard everything they did at 99 levels below. You need to look at a person, see what they're doing. Okay, aspire to that. I want to be on that level. However, what were they doing when they were in my position? I guarantee you it's not what they're doing now. So you can't compete on that same level. You're not at that level. So you need to understand that. And part of being stuck is because you're trying to do what somebody at level 100 is doing on day one. You're trying to run before you can walk. And that sets you up for failure because you don't have the skill sets for it. You probably don't have the mindset for it yet. And you're questioning why the world isn't treating you the way you want to be treated, or you're not acquiring the results that you want. It's because simply you aren't good enough yet. And you just step it up. A large portion of acquiring success is literally just doing the things that nobody wants to do. So for example, you know deep down what you really need to be doing. Deep down, you already know. For example, say your problem is acquiring leads, or your problem is not being in shape. You already know what you should be doing. If you need to acquire more leads, you should probably spend a lot more time reaching out to people. If you're trying to get in shape, you should probably spend more time training and eating the right food. However, you're trying to do the other thing, which is, oh, let me plan my way through it. You know what? Because that makes me feel productive. A lot of people feel productive by planning things but not executing. Let me tell you this, sir. I promise you planning is not being practical, yeah? You planning all the time will not serve you at all. Why? Because the learning is happening when you execute, when you try, when you put in the work, yeah? Because that's the only way you're going to know if you're doing the right thing or not. You planning and perfecting everything is a waste of your time. I used to do this so much. Let me plan this and execute it to the best of my ability. I still get there and I still flop it. The problem is here, I wasted so much time planning something that I didn't know is going to work. You can't do that. Sometimes you're just going to have to throw yourself in the deep end and learn on the job. Learn as you do it. You can't keep planning, because the best teacher is experience. Experiencing it for yourself is the best way to learn something and the fastest way to probably do it too. So stop dodging things. Stop trying to find the easy way out. The best way to do it is to genuinely keep trying. Throw yourself in the deep end and learn as you go. And you'll gain a lot from it. You will genuinely gain a lot from it, because you sitting there planning is just not serving you in the direction that you want to be going. So that's why you feel stuck. It's because you're not executing. You're not executing. You're procrastinating. That feeling of being stuck is coming from a place of lack of responsibility. You're stuck because you're not trying to change your reality by executing in the correct manner. You're not executing at all. You might be just wasting time watching all these videos on how to get rich or how to achieve something, but when it comes to it, you're not even executing what you've just learned. So all of that is literally essentially like watching Netflix. You've just gained this information and not executed anything with it. That's just a waste of time, in my opinion. There's no point of knowing a bunch of information, but it's not serving your life in any way. You need to acquire information, execute. After you execute, you'll gain new information, because you'll see, oh, this worked, this didn't work. What can I do? You go again. This time, you're probably going to make some results, not anything outstanding, but something. And then you go back to the drawing board. All right, I did this. This is what I got. What can I do to make this result better or change it to a more ideal result? And then from there, you take your planning and then go and execute on it. But you constantly making plans. Oh, this is my 15th million plan of the year. I am going to get rich through this plan. Go on ChatGPT, write me a plan on how to execute this. It's just another wasted plan. It's another waste of time. The best way, find your goal, highlight the goal, make processes and how you can acquire that goal. Don't chase the goal itself, chase the processes that get you to that goal. That is it. That is the trick. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching my video. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Mawad Talks, at Mawad Shaky on TikTok. Just follow all my social medias, link in the description, and I will try my best to start posting more often. But anyways, guys, it's been your boy Mawad. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.